Supervisor.
To the CEO's points with respect to solid waste, I had concerns around that as two of the fees, both the disposal fees and the rise in cost of fuel, which are particular to that function. So I had concerns. So I think that the recommendation that you're making addresses that issue. I guess my question is to council, if we were going to act on that and the other fees before us with respect to the resolution that's been updated and has the date on it of July 21st, what changes would need to be made to reflect the changes as verbally given by the CEO?
We're only acting on the resolution that's before you right now. So I'm not sure of your question.
Well, the CEO just verbally gave a different recommendation, and he said if we were to entertain such a recommendation, that modifications would need to be made to this document. So my question to you is, how would you modify that? Because
A separate resolution.
Yeah. Just have to bring it back. Well, there's two ways that we could do this, as I see it. One, we can adopt what's before us and bring it back for changes. Or two, again, continue this to bring it back in the modified form as stated by the CEO and adopt at a later date.
Well, actually, I think we can just continue it for a brief time, and we can make the appropriate modifications and bring it back so that you can
Today.
act on it today. Let's do that,
Okay,
since we've delayed it once already.
all right.
So is that okay?
Supervisor Smith.
oh, sorry,
Okay.
That's
That
fine.
works.
Okay.
Is that, to the board, is that a problem? So that we can act on this today and not keep coming back and back and back?
Act on what today?
I can recommend the
Something they're going
change.
to bring forward this afternoon, or what?
Yes. Yeah,
The resolution.
changes in the resolution
Yeah.
that address solid waste,
Yeah, we should.
as stated by CEO Mitchell. Supervisor.
Just as a quick comment, I'd like to compliment the Building and Planning Department and also Department of Transportation for their, the way how they've, not that I necessarily support their recommendations, but how the way they've laid out their, all the services they do and their rates and everything. All of it's really detailed, and I appreciate both departments for that.
It's an easy read and makes
Yeah.
sense to us. Hopefully, that in turn makes sense to the public, Ray, and appreciate your department. Okay, so let's continue this item to allow for modifications of the resolution.
Okay, Jennifer, can we make those modifications this afternoon and then bring it back? Just change the resolution? Yes, we could do that.
Okay, so at this time, we'll continue this item and bring it back a little bit later in the afternoon. So let's move on to item 9A. This is again a public noticed hearing set for 1:30. Pursuant to Mendocino County Code, Chapter 5.36, Fire Protection Mitigation Fee, to consider adoption of a resolution implementing the fire protection mitigation fees for the Ukiah Valley Fire District in order to ensure the provision of capital facilities and equipment necessary to maintain current levels of fire protection services that are required as a result of new development projects within the boundaries of the Ukiah Valley Fire District. So, this is a public hearing. I'll open the public hearing, and we'll go to the clerk. Is there any additional correspondence as of today on this item?
No, everything is in the package that you received.
Okay, and the procedures will be that we'll go to staff for the presentation. The board will ask any questions of the staff, which is the fire district staff and their consultant. And at that time, then I'll open it up for public input and public comment. Then revert back to the staff for any final closing comments. The Board of Supervisors will then have an opportunity to ask questions of the staff and/or the public in regards to their comments. I'll close the public hearing and remand the matter back for action to the Board of Supervisors at that time. So I will go to the staff for presentation at this time, and I believe Chief Grable.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Dan Grable. I'm Fire Chief with the Ukiah Valley Fire District, and I wanted to thank you for hearing this item today and allow me to tell you a little bit about the Fire District and why we're here today. The Ukiah Valley Fire District provides fire protection services to approximately 80 square miles of area outside the city of Ukiah's 4 square miles. The population of the district is approximately 13,000 people, and last year we responded to 1,020 calls for service. We are a single-purpose special district, that single purpose being fire protection. We're governed by an elected board of 5 citizens who are residents of the district. I'd like to introduce some of them that are here with us today. Our current president of the board, Pete Bushby. Pete, a career fire captain with the City of Ukiah Fire Department. Board member Butch Carpenter, local businessman, plumber here in town, and Jerry Buzzard. Jerry, retired and past volunteer firefighter. My other 2 board members, Rob Gattenberger, not here today, a local landlord, and Tony DeFati, who owns an equipment rental business here in the district. Funding for 2007-2008 annual operating budget is derived from property taxes, about 28%, a special tax deriving 62% of our budget, which was replaced the benefit assessment that was nullified by Proposition 218, and it was voter approved. And it's paid by residents and businesses in the district. The remaining 10% is funded by interest, fees, donations, and grants. On November 4th of 2003, Ukiah Valley Fire District voters passed a second special tax known as Measure B, not to be confused with the most recent Measure B. It was a second special tax for the specific purpose of replacing our fire suppression vehicles, emergency equipment, and personnel safety equipment. And that began funding approximately $110,000 annually beginning in the 2004-2005 year. So in the simplistic fashion, a resident in the district would pay $120 of special tax annually to the district for the maintenance and operations of it. It's interesting to know that a new fire engine can cost in excess of $250,000. Ukiah Valley Fire District operates out of our headquarters known as its South Station at 1500 South State Street at the corner of State and Laws, and from the CAL FIRE North Station. Sorry about that. Our North Station, which is the CAL FIRE station at 2690 North State Street. Both stations are staffed 24 hours per day by career staff and/or a cooperative agreement with CAL FIRE. 7 career members, including myself, a battalion chief, 3 fire captains, and 2 fire apparatus engineers. In 1993, we had 12 career firefighters. We're down to 7 now. Our clerical staff consists of a half-time administrative secretary, which is down from 2.5 clerical personnel in 1993. Our career staff provides support to volunteers by managing the day-to-day operations of the district in such areas as administration, prevention,